Hi, it's Jessica from Big Delicious Life, and I'm out here today at Middlebury Farms, and we are in peak tomato season. Tomatoes are everywhere. So today we're going to whip up some really fun, quick and easy Pico de Gallo and guacamole and use a bunch of these gorgeous tomatoes. So let's get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is chop up my red onion. Give this a peel. Alright, we're just gonna toss our onion skins over there. And then we're gonna give this a quick dice. I like to get my onions pretty small and just make sure that they're minced up really fine. So we're just gonna move these onions over here to the side, and then we're gonna get started on our tomatoes. You can really use any kind of tomato that you want for Pico de Gallo and guacamole. I, of course, have every single tomato that they grow here on the farm right here. So I'm gonna use these Roma tomatoes, maybe get one of these green zebras in here, and then, I don't know what these are called, but I'm gonna use a bunch of different ones because I like all of the pretty colors. A serrated knife is your friend with tomatoes. It just makes them really easy to cut. Just wanna go like this and cut them up into little cubes. Let's get one of these yellow ones in there. Let's make sure that we get all of the colors in there and put one of these green ones in here. Now, there's not really like an exact recipe that you follow for Pico de Gallo and for guacamole. It's just kind of however you like it. If you like more onion, you could put that in there. If you like cilantro, you could put that in there. If you hate cilantro, you can mix that up with some chives or some green onion. You can really make it however you like it. If you like it spicy, add jalapeno. Don't like any spice, leave it out. It's your world. These are super juicy. Means they're going to be delicious. Next thing we're gonna do for our pico is get some cilantro chopped up. Now with cilantro, you can just grab a bunch like this, and the stems are actually really flavorful. We don't have to go and pick all the individual leaves off. You just want to lay it down on your cutting board and just go like this with your knife. And see? They just come right off. It's okay to get a little bit of stem on here. Just hold it and just lightly peel them off with your knife. I got things flying all over the place. And then we're just going to give it a rough chop. Pico and guacamole, it's really rustic, so you don't have to worry about getting everything perfect or chopping it all uniform. Just as long as you're able to get a little bit of every ingredient in each and every bite on those chips. I like things spicy, so I'm gonna dice up some jalapeno here. Now, jalapeno, the spicy part is really, let's get the cilantro off the knife here so you can see. The spice is all in the seeds and in the pith there, in that like part. So I like it a little bit spicy. I'm gonna leave in half of the seeds on one half, and then the other one I'm gonna take the seeds out. And all of these things are gonna get mixed together, so we don't really have to worry about separating them. But for this one, I'm gonna take the seeds out and just toss them aside. That'll cut down on some of the spice. I'm feeling spicy today. Let's do 2 jalapenos. Why not? The hardest part about this recipe is all of the chopping. But you know what? I find it kind of soothing and relaxing. Let's get this pico mixed up. So we have our tomatoes. We're gonna add in about, I don't know, maybe half, a little bit more than half of this in here. Then we're gonna add in some cilantro. And then we'll add in some jalapeno pepper. Limes are extremely important. So we're just gonna cut our lime in half. For this, we'll use a whole lime. So we'll get that in our little squeeze juicer here and just squeeze all of that lime in there. Oh, salt. Gotta make sure we season it. So I'm just gonna add a few pinches of salt. You just want to add a little bit at first and then mix it together. You can always add more salt, but you can't take it away. So season lightly at first. Then you just got to kind of feel it out. It's the best part about making this. You got to have chips nearby so you can taste it as you go. I think we could use a bit more cilantro in there. Just put that right in. I always like to make the pico first because you can set it aside and let the flavors come together. And then before you serve it, then you just check for seasoning. With all my little ingredients over here. I said we were making guacamole, but we're actually gonna make something I like to call guacamole. Now, if you have watched any of my videos or seen my recipes, you know that there's nothing that I love more than what I call a sneaky vegetable recipe. And this is a sneaky vegetable recipe because I'm gonna sneak some kale in this guacamole and give everybody an extra serving of greens. So, I have some kale here, and what I'm gonna do is just strip down a leaf. You don't need to use a ton, but anywhere you can sneak in some extra greens, you might as well take advantage of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop this kale down really fine so that like you can barely even see it. When I say tiny, I mean you want like little bits because we want people to not even know that it's there. Pretty much want to pulverize it. I'm telling you, they won't know it's in there. Just keep chopping. If you think you got it small enough, give it one more go and get it even smaller. Awesome. I think this is small enough. I'm a big fan of hiding kale in anything, especially if you have people in your house that think that they don't like it. You'd be surprised how many things you could put it in. So let's grab one of our avocados here and get started mixing up this guac. So what you want to do with your avocado is just hold your knife carefully and twist it around, and then you just twist it. Boop. Opens right up. And then we can just squeeze it out. And then the way you pop the seed out of them is you just gently tap your knife in the pit and give it a little twist. Boop. Seed comes right out. So I like my guacamole kind of chunky, so I don't mash it all the way up. I just kind of break it up into little chunks like this with a fork. But you know what? It's your world, and this recipe is highly customizable. So if you like your avocado mashed up more, guess what? Go ahead and mash them up some more. I'm gonna throw in some onions. Just a few. And then I'm gonna show you a little trick. If you make your pico first, all you gotta do is spoon some tomatoes out of this bowl and put them in here. So I just add some extra onion, and then I'm gonna throw some cilantro and some jalapeno in there. And then I'm gonna add some of this kale. Just sprinkle that on in there and give it a stir. You know I'm gonna add a little bit more of that kale, because who's looking? Now we're gonna give some lime juice to this. For guac, I like about half of a lime. And we'll give it some salt. Now the guacamole is gonna look really, really green because it's got all that chopped up kale in there, but I swear you won't even be able to taste it. Let's give it a try. Here, I always tend to take too big of bites. And if you want, you can also put a little sprinkling of cilantro, jalapeno on top, maybe a little bit of red onion. You can do whatever you like. Then we'll get our pico into this pretty bowl right here. Now you'll see that the tomatoes have had a little bit of time to sit in the lime and the salt here. So we're just gonna scoop these out and leave some of the juice behind. I think we need to give this pico one more taste before we invite everybody else to eat it. What do you think? Gotta make sure it's okay. That's really good. So, this is a very quick and easy way to use up a bunch of fresh tomatoes, some kale, some onion, anything that you have in your garden or that you're getting in your CSA box this summer. Thank you so much for watching Big Delicious Life. I'm Jessica out here at Middlebury Farms. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe.